Hello, hello. Welcome to the season premiere of Red Storm Real, where we talk about the latest and greatest in the movie business. I'm your host, Joe Acierno.
And I'm Erik Ferrari. So we're going to start this season by trying a new game where we both give each other clues and we try to think of what movie the other person has in their head.
This is
What's the Real? Okay, so I'm going to give you clues first and you try to guess what movie I'm thinking of.
I get to guess first? Wow, what a gentleman. All right, go ahead. What do you got?
Okay, so this is, I think it was like in the 90s. It's about a kid who plays guitar in a unique way.
Oh, man. I don't know. What else do you got?
He plays it like a drum almost. And there's a whole thing with his parents that are trying to like find each other. They fell in love young and they had him. And he meets up with, I think, Robin Williams is in it.
Oh, man. Never mind. I thought I knew.
It's these two
August
young...
Rush?
Yes, that's the one.
Oh, okay. I was going to say. Let's see. The movie based on Johnny Cash. It's got Joaquin Phoenix in it, Reese Witherspoon.
I know what movie you're talking about, but we're going to have to pass. I don't remember the title.
Oh, man.
Sorry, what is it?
It was Walk the Line.
Walk the Line? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
So this one is about this young couple who they're driving on a road late at night and their car breaks down at a castle, and there's a sweet transvestite from Transylvania.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes.
Okay. I've never seen that one too, so I'm happy I got that.
You should watch that. That's really good. Okay.
Let's see. What else? Okay. Takes place in the 70s. Nervous, shy kid goes on tour with a rock band. Hold me closer, tiny dancer.
It's about Elton John.
Well, yeah.
I don't know this one.
Almost Famous.
I've never heard of that one.
You've never heard of that? Oh
No,
my
never heard
God,
of
you
that
got to
one.
watch Almost Famous. Fantastic movie.
Okay. So we're going to move on to the next portion of our show where we're going to review a movie we've just recently seen, and afterwards we're going to do a preview of a couple movies that are going to coming out in the next few weeks and months. So recently we just watched White Boy Rick.
White Boy Rick is the story about Rick Wirsch Jr. and his father, Richard Wirsch Sr., and how he basically Rich Jr. went from being an FBI informant to basically the largest drug kingpin in the area, all before he was 16. So, honestly, as far as the movie itself, I had a great time watching it for the most part. I thought it was very entertaining. It was much funnier than I thought it was going to be. And I got to say, the performances were very solid, especially Matthew McConaughey. I'm sure you remember, I couldn't shut up about him, when we were leaving the theater. I thought he was so great.
He was good, but actually, I did like his performance. But this is a kind of a weird thing where, I didn't think he did a bad job, but I'm starting to get a little bit tired of him.
Really?
Because Matthew McConaughey kind of plays the same role in a lot of his movies, where he's just kind of like the skeevy white dude.
I feel like he gives off like a cowboy, sort of crusader vibe.
I don't really get that from him.
That's what I get from him.
Not really. I don't know. He seems more like rednecky.
Yeah.
Than
that's a good way to
cowboy.
put it too.
Yeah. But other than that, I think it struck a nice balance between seriousness and kind of some lightheartedness. Where the movie wasn't lighthearted, but it had its moments where it kind of had some ups and downs. There's some scenes that focus on how his actions are affecting the characters around him, and I think it does a really nice job getting inside of all the struggles that the family's going through.
One of the problems that I had with the movie was I felt it was a bit too unfocused and it meandered a bit. And I just felt they always say oh, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, this one put too many of its eggs in too many of its baskets. So I just felt that it gave us too much of what was supposed to be the subplots of the story. And from that, I felt like it took away from making the central story bigger.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what you're saying that
bigger. Or smaller than it should have been.
That after a lot of the major plot points, it kind of took a moment, or took a few too many moments to try to regain its footing and kind of show you where the plot's going to go afterwards. And I think I didn't know the story of White Boy Rick before going to see this movie. So for me, it didn't really the movie didn't really instill a sense of how big he actually was or how important his actions were. So by the time you got to the end of the movie, I was kind of wow, that seemed he eventually gets captured and put in prison and stuff for life.
That's not a spoiler. You can look that up online.
Yeah, no, that happened.
You can read the history.
And by the time that happens in the movie, it felt surprising because you didn't think that he had done enough to actually get there.
Yeah.
But overall, I liked the movie.
So
I thought it was pretty good. I recommend watching it.
Yeah, definitely give this one a look. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay, so first movie we're going to preview is A Star Is Born. A Star Is Born is a remake of the other renditions of the film. I believe there are 2.
3 of them.
There's 3? There's 3. Oh, excuse me.
This is the 3rd remake.
Okay, 3rd remake, excuse me. And basically, same general plot line. A veteran in the entertainment industry discovers a new talent. They strike a romantic chord, but the relationship takes a turn for the worse when the veteran's alcoholism spirals out of control. So what are your thoughts exactly?
I think it looks good. As a 3rd movie or the 3rd remake of a movie, I don't really know if it's like necessary to be made, but I mean that doesn't really matter. Yeah. I think it looks good. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Like Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga are both extremely talented. I think it'll be interesting to see Lady Gaga in an acting role, like a leading acting role. I think it'll be great because she's a great singer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't need to be said. It's a movie about music. I'm not expecting this to be like extremely interesting in like any kind of new way. It doesn't look like it's doing anything new, but it looks like it's going to be kind of like solid and familiar, which is nice. I don't know. Yeah.
No, I'm very confident in the movie myself. I think Bradley Cooper is doing something pretty amazing as far as directing, producing, starring in, co-writing the script as well. So I think it's something that he's definitely taken charge with. And I feel like he's going to be, like, thinking about all this, it makes me feel like he's going to be the central nervous system of the whole film. And I'm sure Lady Gaga's going to hold her own too. I don't mean that like he's necessarily going to outshine her in the film acting-wise. Yeah. It's just like, when you think about all this, it's like, wow, he really took all this on. And, I'm from the footage that we've seen as far as marketing and stuff, his singing voice, I would like to think that it's not auto-tuned, but from what I heard, again, from all that stuff, he sounds really good. He sounds really good. I think he fits into the role of this sort of modern, sort of like pop country singer. So I want to see how he goes with all this. And I was surprised to see Dave Chappelle in the trailer, too. I heard his voice. Very low, very
Do you know what kind of character he's going to be
I think he's like the best friend of Bradley Cooper's character.
Okay,
That's sort of like the confidant.
Right. Yeah, I remember maybe a trailer now. Yeah.
But no, I'm definitely very confident in it, and I think, building off your point too, I don't think it's going to exactly reinvent the wheel, but I think it's going to be something that's very popular. I don't know if I'm going to go as far as to say it has potential to contend for the Oscars. I think based on the reception it's been getting, I think maybe it could.
I think it might get I don't know. I really don't know until I see the movie. I don't think it's going to be like astounding, but I am not expecting it to be like bad by any means. I think it looks like it's going to be a fun time, like a decent movie.
Yeah, like an entertaining, definitely. I think touching too. It's definitely got the potential for that.
Yeah. The next movie we're going to preview is Bohemian Rhapsody, which is going to be about the life and career of Freddie Mercury, the lead singer of Queen. Freddie Mercury is being played by Rami Malek. He's been in Mr. Robot and a few other things. I'm looking forward to see this movie. I think it looks like it's going to strike an interesting balance between his professional and private life, Freddie Mercury's. I'm looking forward to seeing how they present the private side of him, because there's a lot to tell there,
Yeah, I'm very confident in the film. I think Rami Malek, based on what we've seen, it seems like he's a terrific fit for the role. I think he's going to be great. And I hope, one of the things that I hope for this film is that, kind of like with Baby Driver, how like the soundtrack was like, how the film was edited to the soundtrack. I kind of hope that's what they do for this one too, because like it's not, it's Queen. How could you, some of the greatest, some of the greatest rock music.
I think they're gonna save a lot of like the big hits for like concert scenes and stuff though, like when they actually perform it, or like when you show them in the studio actually like writing the songs. I don't think that they're probably gonna save them for like oh this is the band driving around town and stuff, and you have like one of the greatest hits in the background. I would expect to save that for more. Important scenes.
I would prefer that too, because it just makes it feel more natural. Like it doesn't sound like they're just stuffing it in somewhere. Like you want to see the band in action too.
Yeah.
And speaking of the band in action, like I remember like one of the clips that they released online was of them recording part of Bohemian Rhapsody when the guy's trying to sing Galileo. I can't sing that high, but it just shows them going through that over and over again. Then the next thing they cut to is them actually performing the song, and the scene is just so cool.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Rami Malek, actually sing the songs too?
I don't know. I read a little bit about it, and I think that he is singing at least during parts of the movie, like some of the songs. And it seemed like the people who saw him or heard him singing, they said he did a good job. So I'm looking forward to it. He looks a lot like Freddie Mercury in costume and stuff.
It's pretty shocking.
I think it's gonna be good.
I think it's gonna be good. Yeah. The only question mark I have about it is that the production with it was kind of troubled because Bryan Singer got fired like
Yeah.
in the middle of production.
Yeah,
You know, his behavior is very erratic.
He's getting ultimate credit though. I think.
Yeah.
I think they're giving director credit to him.
I mean, I hope
they cut him like halfway through.
You know, because I hope that if anything, like, you know, Dexter Fletcher was the one that replaced him. They should at least say something about him too. I mean, they're kind of cleaning up.
Yeah.
He's filling the void that Bryan Singer left by being an idiot. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's a softer way to put it. Yeah, that's basically what happened. Well, that's all we have for you today. A Star is Born hits theaters October 5th.
And Bohemian Rhapsody will be in theaters on November 2nd.
See you next time on
Red
Storm
Storm
Real.